Hello and welcome to Moment of Clarity. I'm Lee Camp. As in most of the past episodes, I've also been Lee Camp. I want to go over Trump. And okay, I don't usually get involved in the world of Trump tweets. Okay, because to me it's like the masturbation version of news. It's just. Whenever they go, Trump tweeted, I just envision a guy just like furiously, some sort of, I envision a CNN news anchor furiously jacking off, and that's what every time Trump tweeted, go fuck yourself. But in this instance, I'm going to join them, and not because of how stupid his tweet is, although I have to make fun of that because I wouldn't be doing my job as a comedian if I didn't make fun of that. But also because it speaks to the larger points about jobs and the economy and how this system works. So Trump tweeted that he was ordering the company. Well, I'll just read the tweet. Our great American companies are hereby ordered to immediately start looking for an alternative to China, including bringing your companies home and making your products in the USA. All right, there's so much of this that's fucking awesome. First of all, I love that he starts off with our great American companies while he's talking about companies that are having all their shit made in China. Hey, great American companies who are employing only Chinese. Hey, great American companies who are exploiting labor wherever you can get it in order to make the most profit because you want to be super rich and you want to have workers that work for fucking Tootsie Pop. Here's a Tootsie Pop. Okay, great. Sounds good to me. That's what you want. So you are the great American companies he's apparently referring to that are completely staffed in China. So great American companies. And then he, in his tweet, I hereby order, I, the fucking president of things, am ordering you over Twitter. That's not how government works. Now, who told you that's how that things work? So he orders them because he can't. He's not willing to put forward a law saying that. No, because he's bent over for all corporate interests, and he's not going to put forward a law saying you have to have your stuff made in America. That's not how capitalism works. Capitalism works with you get the employees who will work for fucking nothing, and you put all the others out of business, or fire them. So this isn't how government works. It's not how capitalism works. Trump is in this great battle with China, right? Because he's realizing that our system of unfettered capitalism is in the late stages. Things are collapsing around us. So he's trying to. A lot of the way we're trying to continue to dominate the world markets is via military, which can't really last. That's not really going to do it. And so he's in a trade war with China, which also isn't going to work, but he's not a very bright fellow. And so he's just demanding that you bring those jobs home. Now, on top of the points I've already mentioned, this is a man who had all his shit made in like China and Mexico. All that crap he was selling. Fucking ties and other clothing and colognes or whatever the fuck he was selling. All of that shit, not made here. Made in Mexico, made in China, made in other countries. Until he was running for president, realized it didn't look so good anymore. Now, I think his MAGA hats are made in the U.S. because he realized it wasn't exactly winning over a lot of fans when he'd run around with his Chinese-made MAGA hats. So, but that speaks to something. It speaks to the fact that before Trump was running for office, before he gave a shit about what a voter thought, he had all his stuff made where it was cheapest to have it made. He didn't give a flying fuck about an American. An American means nothing to a CEO of a company. Only cold, hard cash means a goddamn thing. So he didn't give a fuck about, honestly, about where it was made, who was making them. No. If it's a kid being whipped while he works for pennies and all good. All good. Just delicious. Delicious. No, that delicious profit. Nom, 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 nom. That's all it was. And that's what it is for these companies that he's yelling at on Twitter. They don't give a shit. Now, if the political pressure becomes great enough that they start to worry that their brand's getting fucked, then okay, maybe they'll bring some jobs home for a minute to try and get us to shut the fuck up. But in general, I don't care. They're going to go wherever the labor's cheapest. And this is how capitalism works, right? It used to be difficult to go wherever the labor was cheapest because it was much harder to get around the world. It was much harder to have stuff shipped around the world. And so they had stuff made in the communities where it was delivered. But now, we'll have an Amazon truck drive across the country to deliver a goddamn chapstick or a toothbrush or something. There's fucking gallons of gasoline and hours and manpower. Who gives a shit for a little chapstick? Nowadays, we don't care about that. Fossil fuels being pumped into the air, people gasping for breath, but you got your goddamn chapstick. Yes, I did. And so here are some steps we could take. I want to get into what we could be doing if we actually went about this rationally. What we could be doing to bring jobs home, and obviously, I've said before, we need to evolve past capitalism, but let's put that aside for the moment and talk about some other things. One thing we fucking need is democracy in the workplace. Economist Richard Wolff talks about this a lot. If a corporation was a democracy, the workers are not going to vote to send all their jobs overseas. They're not going to vote to fire themselves as merge with another company and fire everyone. That wouldn't be it wouldn't be like that. They're not going to vote for the CEO to be making 700 times what the fucking dude on the factory floor is making. So, because corporations are the most powerful entities in our lives, and they are not a democracy at all. They are a totalitarian structure run by sociopaths. Do you hear what I'm saying? Who gets to that boardroom? I've said this before. Sorry to repeat myself, but who gets to a fucking boardroom of a weapons contractor or an auto industry boardroom? It's the fucking sociopaths. It's not the good guy. It's not the guy who, oh, I'm sorry, you take my seat. No. That guy's not getting to the top. He's fucking sitting down at the bottom, letting people use his shit. So we have do you understand? It's set up this way. It is set up for sociopaths to be at the top and tell everybody else what to do. So we have a totalitarian, sociopath-led corporate structure that rules our country and essentially rules the world. And Trump bows down to them, so he's not. You think he'd even mention democracy in the workplace? No. Fuck no. Could you imagine if Trump Enterprises or Trump Inc. were a democracy? Yeah, right. So yes, that's one thing we need to do. We need strong unions, right? When unions are strong, again, the workers don't vote to have their jobs sent overseas. They strike if the corporation is going to send their jobs away, is going to give the jobs to a worker who's desperate in some other country and will work for nothing. They don't vote for it. When unions are strong, and that's part of the reason we're in the situation we're in, is because unions have been systematically gutted for years, and now workers have essentially zero power. They have less power than like young Anakin Skywalker. Like when he was just a little kid, he didn't know how to use the things. He didn't, the Force was he couldn't even pick up a pencil with Force. Like back when that's the amount of power they have now. They can get like a pen to levitate, but they can't. The lightsaber's way beyond them. That's the power unions have now. But it's been systematic. They've been systematically gutted by both the Democrats and the Republicans. More so by the Democrats, because the Democrats ran around saying, we support unions. Yeah, fuck you do. You do not. So they were stabbed in the back by the Democrats, and yet they keep supporting them because the hierarchy of all right. And so yeah, this is a symptom. The fact that Trump has to yell over Twitter about send the jobs home is a symptom of a systematically fucking stabbed and gutted union structure in our country. It's a symptom of it, and he doesn't know it because he's not very bright. He is bright enough to know that he hates unions and he wants them to fucking die. And he doesn't understand that he wouldn't have to yell over Twitter for corporations to send jobs home. If we had unions, those jobs wouldn't have flown away to begin with. But to get even deeper, this is how capitalism works, right? This is the gravity of capitalism. It will inevitably. Let's say we pass something tomorrow that made unions stronger and put democracy at some lesser level in the workplace. Let's assume we force Congress to do that. The gravity of capitalism would slowly undermine that. The wealth controls the power, which then slowly guts those laws. The Consumer Protection Bureau is a perfect example, right? That was, after 2008, that was really going to protect you and me against these capitalist corporate demons. Really gonna protect us. And then we saw the gravity of the system reasserted itself. Gutted the Consumer Protection Bureau. I mean, it never really, and made sure that it never really had teeth to begin with. And then what was left was slowly gutted till today. It's about this big. It's a speck. It doesn't even fucking really exist. That's how it works. The gravity of the situation. So, you could build unions back up and you might be able to hold on to your late stage capitalism for a little longer. But the gravity the waves over the sandcastle slowly erode it and gut it again. So we've got to evolve beyond this. And we have the ability, we have the technology, we have the know-how, we have the money, we've got all of it. We just have to decide to do it. We could evolve past this. We have the technology where people shouldn't have to work nearly at the level that we are. We used to, way back hundreds of years ago, or 150, 200 years ago, something like 80% of all effort, all work of the day was devoted to food, to harvesting it, planting it, cooking it, getting it, hauling it, all that shit, to food and shelter. And nowadays, you know how much is devoted to food? 1%. That's how much of our work, our effort and work and everything in this country is devoted. 1% has to do with food prep and making and growing. So you'd think that means we have to work a whole lot less. Most of the work has gone away. We don't have to do that, but fucking no. No. It's not built that way. It's not. They found other ways to give people jobs so that we can be wage slaves our whole lives, so that we can survive. All right. I think I'm getting a little too far afield of the China tweet. China tweet over here. What I'm talking about over here. But still, there was a path. We went down a path, and now we got there. It didn't just come out of the clear blue sky. There was a train of thought. So, something there. No, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm coming to perform in Toronto, Los Angeles, Ventura, Milwaukee, Madison, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C. That's all at leecamp.com. Also, we're endlessly suppressed, so please sign up for the email list. And if you're subscribed to this channel, make sure you click the bell next to, there's a little fucking bell icon. If you don't click that, then they don't tell you about the videos. Because they keep adding things. So they're like, hey, you have to subscribe and we'll tell you about the videos. And people subscribe. And then they're like, oh, too many people are subscribed and we don't want to tell them about all the videos. So let's add a new thing they got to push. And most of them won't even know it exists, so they won't do it. So then they were like, they added a little bell. And nobody pushes the bell because no one knows what the fuck it is. And now, probably too many people are pushing the bell because they started finding out about it. So the next thing YouTube will do is they'll go, hey, we put a thing under the bell. It's a little icon of a ladybug. And you have to, if you just lightly stroke the ladybug with your cursor, then we might tell you about the videos. If you don't, because that shows you love the video. Because if you stroke the little ladybug icon, if you don't do that, then we're fucking never telling you about anything. See, they keep adding steps. Anyway, click the bell. All right. Keep fighting.